Actually, let me see if Lupita is ready for us. I know she was running around and that. Oh, it's been a crazy morning already. It's a little cold in Houston. We're not really used to that, but we encourage more cold and we appreciate it. But it does take a little bit of adjusting. We definitely we want the cold. We've been in the heat, humid weather for far too long. I don't know if we're having technical difficulties, but we're going to try this again. Um, but yeah, I'll wait till everybody gets on. It's been already a crazy week, and it's Tuesday. Yesterday, my power was out when I woke up, and it stayed out for a few hours. So getting ready for showings and getting ready for the day was just a little bit of a hassle. But you know, thank God for flashlights and cell phone flashlights. All right, I don't know what is happening. Trying to invite her. I don't know. The internet was acting very strange, so it could be the internet. What a wonderful time to live. Um, I'm not sure. We're just gonna wait a second. Yeah, definitely singing is not my strong suit. Let's see. I did. Hopefully we can make this work. It's a crazy morning. It's so crazy that it's a hot morning. Okay, because I have a nice little pimple right between my eyes. It's so nice. Yeah, so that's why we're doing a hat today, guys. I literally took a shower and I didn't have time to do my hair. So sometimes this is how it be. And I don't know if we're having technical difficulties, but we might be because, you know, technology is so fun.
I don't know if this is gonna work. I pulled over, I'm in the garage, and I don't know if you can hear that.
And slightly, but not like I can hear you, at least.
Okay.
What
I
is
can't
it?
find my AirPods to drown the noise out, but they're literally demoing. Like, and there's like the thing that I can hear it
Hey,
so loud.
it's, I was just gonna say for our topic, it's perfect because I mean, I was explaining to the audience while you were trying to come on that it's been a crazy morning or it's been a crazy week and it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I was explaining yesterday with my power going out and trying to leave. And then like this morning, I was like running, I took a shower, didn't have time to do my hair, had to put a hat on because I have a pimple right between my eyes and it's so fun. So
My
this is,
mine's still there from like a month ago.
mine is here. And I was like, yeah, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So, hey, again, it's not about being perfect. It's about the effort we put in to whatever it is we're doing. So this is it just aligning perfectly, unintentionally, what we were going to talk about today. Um,
I'm so much better with this filter. You know you could do a filter?
mhm,
Okay, I
yeah,
know that. I just discovered that this morning.
yeah. No, I've been using a filter every time.
Have you?
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's just I think it's the one with the it looks like a leaf, so it's very like subtle. And I'm like, just because the lighting in here is not the best, and you know, I just have to give myself a little bit of something. So guys, yes, I have a very light filter on here, and I don't even know how to show you if I take it off. I'm not look. We were already having technical difficulties, and I didn't want to get started like that. So while Lupita finds the right filter for
So
her, uh,
intrigued. No, fuck the filter. I'm just kidding. I didn't even know you could do that.
look,
It's
I
what
wanted
you said. It's not about
it's
perfect.
not about
So there it is.
perfect, and I think I wanted to talk about that in our industry. I was doing a lot of research on something the past couple of days, and I find myself being drawn to those realtors that, or those teams, or those team leads, or those brokers that have like built a business on social media, and it's hard not to look at them and say, it's they're always polished, they always have the right thing to say, their stuff looks amazing. And I realized like that's not the reality of it. I think the one thing that I get annoyed with in our industry is that it always has to be that way. I blame it on HGTV and things like that, and selling sunset, that make our industry look like it's always like glamorous and everyone's pulled together and we're showing $1 million homes all the time.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to realize, if they haven't already realized, like, social media is great for connecting, it's great for marketing, it's great for sharing information, but it also can be great for feeding our imposter syndrome, feeding our inconfident, or is that a word, incompetence? I don't know. Being unconfident. It can feed all those negative things that
Yeah.
already harbor inside of us. And I'm like, one day, and I know a couple of other like business coaches and high level agents and high level entrepreneurs that I follow that are real. And I think I'm drawn to somebody who is real, who's just going to be like, shit, this is how it was. This is how I rolled out of bed this morning, but I'm still able to work and I'm still able to be effective and I'm still able to make, 6 figures, but it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be polished every single time, because hey, I love to dress up. I love to like get into the zone, but sometimes it's like, that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get up and put a hat on and I'm not gonna lie. People, if you follow me, you know that I help my husband's business, and I'm always filling the gaps where I'm not working in my business, I'm working in his business. And there was one weekend day that I was working with him in the morning, and I was all decked out in his gear, like his company gear. And I had to go take a client to go show a house. Like, it was like a kind of an emergency situation. Like, they had to see it at that time, and it was a whole thing. And I was like, I don't have time to go home and change. I didn't bring a change of clothes with me. Like, is it gonna matter? Like, I really overthought it, because I wanted to be presenting myself, well. At the same time, I was like, this is what it is. Like, I mean, I gotta just move with what I have. And I went and showed this property all decked out in his business gear, hat, shirt, everything, right?
We're not gonna
And
promote him.
and I told him, I apologized when I got there, and I said, I'm so sorry. I was at my husband's shop doing stuff with him, and they're like, don't worry about it. Like, it's a Saturday. We get it. Like, people are busy. You're doing your stuff. Like, I appreciate you being here and making the time for us. So again, I was too worried about something that wasn't necessarily needed to be worried about. And I still did the thing that I needed to do. So again, it's not about being perfect. It's about the effort you put in. And this morning shows it. I think I was running around. The dog had made a mess. My grandson needed something to eat. I needed to take a shower. My husband was getting out the door. Like, and I'm like, why all happening at 9:55? When I need to get on and get prepared.
I hadn't even slathered like some lipstick, something. And I don't know if you saw my story, but I already cursed on fucking Instagram. I'm like, this is not fucking real life this morning. It was too much. And I went from from a very positive, very filling day yesterday. And I'm like, no, I refuse to fall into this. This is not real life. But no, I definitely can empathize with you on that. But you're right about our industry and our platform of real estate. I don't think there's a problem with presenting it the way it is. It's just that we have to understand the balance that comes with it. And I mean, I think we all fall into becoming a victim of that view of what it's supposed to be like. And we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And really, personally, I feel like that hinders my growth sometimes, because you sit there and sometimes unconsciously compare yourself to other people, other agents. And I'm like, I can only do what I can do, and that's all I can control. So that's it,
But that's being self-aware, because you realize that you're doing that and you know how to like undo it. But there's some people, and I remember myself at a point in my life where I couldn't make that discernment. I couldn't
Yeah.
make that switch. I couldn't talk to myself that way. So imagine people that are in this industry that are already discouraged because it's hard, right? I mean, it's easy, but it's hard. And then they see all of this. And I also struggle from it. Hey, like it's an
That
ongoing
breaks my
thing.
heart. Yeah. No, I get that breaks my heart. You're right. You know, they're not doing well, and then they feel like they don't do the part. That's hard.
It
Um,
is. And that's one reason why you need to surround yourself with people that are going to help you kind of change your mindset. But if you're not open and ready to receive it, you're going to stay stuck, right? But I want to go back to like the industry and how I personally will take something and say, wow, that's like really amazing. And it stops us from doing what we should be doing because we think it's not ready, it's not perfect, I don't have this. It's just like real estate agents that get into the business like, well, I need my website and I need my business card and I need a headshot. And I'm like, yeah, those are great and you can do all those, but you can also get some of that done, like getting started, right? Because it's going to change. I don't think you or I started, if you look at back at our email signature or our business card or anything that we started with in our social media looks completely different from today. So it's gonna evolve, but the fear that we encounter looking at that and saying, mine is not it's not ready, it's not there. Seeing the reality of this industry sometimes can really frustrate somebody and be like, well, I'm not there yet. I can't do this. I'm not good at being on camera, or I don't have the greatest graphics, or I don't have we remember we talked about it the other day, like most of these people have teams of people behind them
yeah.
doing everything. They
They're
got
not.
there.
They're not actually doing it all
They're not
by themselves.
actually doing all the hats and wearing all the hats that it takes to wear, to be a business owner, to be in real estate. Like you have to do everything yourself in the beginning. And I think that's a great documentation opportunity to say, I have to do everything. I'm the accountant, I'm the marketer, I'm the customer service, I'm the admin, I'm also the buyer's agent and the stuff, like you're everything. And so remembering that your effort in tackling the day, tackling your mindset, tackling your real estate business, tackling business in general, all that, it's about the effort you want to put into it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And it's a struggle, guys. Like it's a struggle 100%, right? Because we want to be our best selves and we think our best selves is this thing that society that has ingrained on us or that social media has showed us. And really, when people ask me for advice or they'll say, hey, do you think I should do this? Or I think I should do this. And I said, what do you choose? The answer that you choose is the right answer. And I have to remind myself of that too. Like, should I wait for this or do this? No, whatever I choose to do is the right answer. And you move on.
Yeah, for sure. No, I will say though, I think that there are better ways to manage this business and still keep your mental health. 100%. You know, if that was top tier of managing your business, like top of the platform, I think everything else would come just a lot more gracefully, and you'll be more open to receiving it, like you said. Business, task, administrative stuff, calling, prospecting, all of that might just kind of flow. And I think there are easier ways, but maybe it's something that needs to be created. I don't know.
So I was just going to bring that up because I was thinking about this and I'm like, back when I got into real estate, nobody thought about your mental health. Nobody thought about, the energy or the flow or being in the vibration. Nobody thought about that. It was just like, it was just, it is what it is. Right. And you just work hard and you make your calls and you door knock, and it was like a different vibe. And I think we're coming into a season, and maybe it's just, maybe if you're watching this or if you're watching the replay, and you've come across this, there's a reason. So stay and listen, right? I always say people and things come across your path for a reason, whatever that may be, and take it as a lesson or take it as maybe you're helping them or, you know, they're helping you. And I think that there needs to be a space where being a realtor and growing your real estate business and leaning into this industry also should cross the path of personal growth, development, digging into your higher self, learning what things that could change in your personal life that will reflect your business life. And we talk about dealing with your trauma, dealing with your past. And sometimes I talk to people and they're like, well, it really nothing happened to me. And I don't think there's anything wrong. But we start talking and we start realizing little things that may have caused them to be the way that they are in their business. It's like an aha moment, like, oh, I really didn't think that was a problem or that made a difference. And then you start connecting the dots. And the one thing that I started doing probably really, really aggressively 2 or 3 years ago was like diving deep into myself. And I've, you know, run real estate teams. I've had a successful real estate team. And also you start to learn more about yourself doing business and doing real estate. Again, we've talked about real estate challenging, not just your mental health, but just like your overall essence of life, right? It really does challenge you how you respond to all the things that are thrown at you. And I really want to create a space where not only am I going to teach you how to real estate, that's what I call it, how to real estate, right? Like how to handle the objections, how to talk to a buyer, how to talk to a seller, how to know what you need to know, you know, in lending, how to negotiate, like all that stuff is real estate stuff. And it's easy to me now. What was the hard part was tackling the personal stuff that I had inside me that was fighting the real estate stuff. And once I found the alignment and what fed what and what contributed to how I was being successful, then I started to like change things. And I'm like, oh my God, like it doesn't have to be all perfect and glamorous. And mind you, sometimes we come across people or we get business partners or we have clients and they want everything perfect. And it's okay to say, no, I'm not feeling this. I'm not vibing with this, because it can throw you off and you don't realize it. You think, I just need to suck it up and, you know, need to do it. No, sometimes you need to listen to yourself. Sometimes you need to listen to how you feel. Sometimes you need to listen to, you know, the essence around you.
Your body will announce it to you.
Absolutely. And I think that's something we're missing. And maybe it's starting to be accepted more in this industry. But it's kind of not taboo, but like people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about emotional stuff. People don't want to talk about like, you know, their story and where they came from. They may talk about it on stage if it's part of their presentation, which is a good start. But why aren't we talking about it more?
I think, from the beginning, you know, there might be less of a struggle if you come in with that. Like, what is driving you? What isn't driving you? What's blocking you? What is the blockage? Talking about all those things and like trying to overcome them to help you grow and help you win and help you be successful. Absolutely. You know, that would definitely be a benefit. It should come in a benefits package for realtors.
Seriously. What was I going to call it? I have it written down. I was going to call it something. Maybe it was called the Realtor Survival Kit or something like that. And we're, you know, because that's part of it. We're surviving. And that's one thing that I've noticed in coaching some of my clients and just talking to a lot of agents in the industry and just business owners is they realize their relationship with money and their idea of money, what was programmed to them, caused them to enter real estate because they're like, oh, I heard that real estate, you can make money and you can do this. And it becomes a whole thing around money. And then they get stuck or they get stagnant or they only make up to a certain amount and they can't get past that. And when they realize like there was some shit that happened in their lives unconsciously that made them think X, Y, and Z about money. And it was kind of blocking them from creating the kind of success or wealth or feeling that they want to create in their business. And when you start to unlock those things, you're like, oh shit, probably should dive into that. Probably should figure out why. And you start reverse engineering it and then things start opening up. And I'm not talking about just success and money, right? Because my money is a tool to get us to the freedom that creates the life we want. But success is like how you feel in your relationships, how you feel in your life, how you feel with your family. Like success is different for everyone. And I always encourage people to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
because when I talk to people and ask them what the first question when I'm like, what are your goals? They immediately think that I mean, oh, I want to sell X amount of houses and I want to make X amount of money. Okay, great. I love that. Well, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? Like, how do you want to feel? Who do you want to see? What do you want to experience? Like, I like to get a little bit deeper because that lets me understand who a person is and how can I help you from a different perspective. Because I always say when you're in the picture, when you're taking a photo and you're in the picture, you can't really see what's around you. Sometimes you have to look at the picture. You have somebody else look from afar and they can help you see things that you can't see.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that if you really think about it, that combined, that piece of of the puzzle and in a space like you said, combined with essential tools that are making our industry just so much easier in a sense. It's not that difficult to manage, but of course you have to learn it. I think a lot more people would thrive in that kind of space. I know it would have saved me a lot of fucking time, to understand those things. And I'm not saying that, that's the answer to everything, but I think it'll definitely, it would definitely help other people that maybe are stuck in their business right now or are just starting to get into the business, just see things differently. It could be a very good, it will be a very good sustainable thing. But yeah, there's a lot of things, like you said, the picture, I go back and think of myself as in 2017 looking out, and I'm like, and I went through this through therapy for my personal self, but I go back and I think about Lupita whenever she was at home with her babies, and there was a time where my therapist took me back to that moment, and all I see is me standing in my living room just by myself, and I look like shit, and I feel like shit, and I'm just looking at her from this point, back in the day, and I'm thinking, damn, like I was so lost, mentally. I wasn't crazy. I'm saying, like, I just wasn't okay. But then I also go back and look at Lupita when I was in the same space when I started this business, and I was, pretending that I was okay, and I was trying to do business, but it would have been a lot easier had I already pulled myself out of that and then stepped into my business.
Mm-hmm.
I would be so much further ahead. But I mean, it is what it is now. I know what I know now, but I wish I could tap into other people and help them go past those struggles so that they could win, so that they don't have to go through all of those things. But yeah, I see a Lupita back in 17, whenever, she was coming out of staying home and being a stay-at-home mom, and it was just not cute. And then me trying to pretend to be a realtor and be a businesswoman. And I mean, I was playing the part, fake it till you make it, right? But internally, there was so much struggle. And it didn't come back till probably 4 or 5 years later to just hit me in the face like, hey, girl, all that shit is still there. You got to work through it. And
It doesn't go anywhere. It comes up in so many different forms.
Yeah, it was sitting there pestering, and that really, really affected my business. It affected my productivity. It affected my um, performance. It affected the ability for me to talk to people and be confident. I've always been a super confident person. And I remember there was times where I was invited to places and I did not want to go because I didn't feel authentic. I knew that people were going to say, how are you feeling? Like, how's everything going? And for me to say, oh, great, or oh, I'm okay, just felt inauthentic. My body completely rejected it. I remember going to a party and, hosted by a title company, and I was there and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, nothing in me. I sat in the car for 30 minutes and I could not get out of the car until I basically was like, Lupita, just go, show face. Like, you can't, like, not show up. And I walked in and I was there for like maybe an hour. I said, I gotta go. So yeah, there a space like that would definitely be insane.
Yeah,
Insane
and
for people.
what I'm thinking about. Well, first of all, I want to say if anybody's listening and you guys want to chime in, there's a little question bubble in the bottom of the screen. Click that button and then ask your question, and we'll talk about it. We're not gonna bring anybody on just yet this time. I know I see a couple people trying to join the conversation. And when I mean when I say join the conversation, I mean click the question mark and then give us your question or give us your comment, because we definitely want to hear from you. But what I was going to say is I've created a new space for that. And the thing is, I want it to be not just a real estate coaching space, because we have tons of those. We have a lot of coaches out there. We have a lot of people that are really good at leading a real estate team. They're really good at helping people lead gen and cold call and do the real estate stuff. But there's a lot of people out there, and I've hired plenty of them, and I know them personally. But what I feel was missing is the human understanding aspect in an industry where money is the priority. Making money, making the goal, making the sale, all that is the priority. And a lot of these huddles and a lot of these team meetings and a lot of these coaching sessions, I want to bring a little bit of gentleness and a little bit of support to the people who haven't gotten there yet, right? So
And
I've created the Inspired Agent Success Squad. And the reason why I have named that, because I want people to be inspired and motivated and to know that they're not alone, but I also want to help them succeed. And it's a monthly coaching membership. So consider it like getting coaching on what to say, what to do with your clients, how to market yourself, how to position yourself, how to get in a niche, how to, you have an idea, you don't know how to execute it. And then think of it like a support group for getting over, some kind of disappointment. You're struggling with motivation. You're not finding your why. You have personal issues that are kind of causing you to not be 100% your best self. Like it's going to be a mixture of both, because I feel like that is necessary, and that's what I did to kind of transform where I came from and my business. And mind you, I have been successful in corporate. I have been and I don't have a degree. I didn't go to college. I was a single mom, just kind of making it, and I was able to move up in corporate to a very nice, cushy position. Sales job where I work from home maybe 4 hours a day, and I make really good money, but I wanted to stop making money for other people, and I wanted to do it for myself. And once I took that on, then I had to learn how to get out of my own way. It's my own trauma, my own struggles, and I've been in therapy for many, many years, and been on a personal growth journey for many years, and it continues. It's never ending. None of us is going to escape that, right? There's something that we have gone through that has made us think differently, and we just got to get back to who we really are. And then the other part of it is like giving back to the people that are in the spaces where I was, whether personally or professionally. I feel like I have a lot of life experience. I have a lot of real estate experience, and I'm constantly learning from people that are sharing that with me, and I want to give back to the people that may not have an opportunity. Now, when I started real estate, I was like, I can't afford a coach. I can't pay $15,000, $1,500 a month or $15,000 a year. Like, there's no way. Like, I just need somebody to help me, like, get through these little like questions. And I've created this in a way that it's very accessible, but there's a lot of value. And you're going to get people like me and Lupita that are going to share not only our stories and our guidance and our experience, and also give you some really, really good value. But I'm also going to bring on people that I think have helped me, but I think that will help other people in different aspects. It's not going to be just real estate. It's not going to be just business. I'm going to bring things that you need, people that you need to hear from, that maybe you would have never had an opportunity to hear from before. So it's called the Inspired Agent Success Squad. Please check it out in my bio. I also work with people personally. Me and Lupita have coached, I have coached her personally. We've coached each other a lot of times, and it is very helpful, but sometimes you're not ready for that. You don't want to make the commitment. You're not sure if you've got everything in place. So if that isn't where you want to start, then the monthly coaching membership is going to be the place you can be, because it's held in a private group, and you don't have to be on screen. You can kind of listen for a couple of times and then, say what you need to say. It's a safe space. I've tried to create safe spaces for everybody that I work with so they can express whatever they need to
Yeah.
express. And
I feel like you said the word gentle, bring some gentleness, but not to be confused with some kumbaya shit. I mean, it's
because I'm also going to bring, the shit that you
yeah.
need to do.
I want to
I
make
have a
sure you
no BS.
emphasize the
Yeah.
fact that it is a gentle, but with the purpose here is always to help you uh, win, help you
Yeah.
be the best version of yourself. And if that best version of yourself is producing, 250,000 in GCI or selling $10 million a year, so that's the purpose. It's not to, you know, that's the purpose.
That
It's
is a
gentle.
purpose. And so we talk about, yeah, being gentle for sure. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am, I kind of quote myself as the
What are you
mindful
gonna
real estate
say?
agent. Huh?
I'm like, what are you
Oh,
about to say?
no, I said, I know I try to like, what is the word? Call myself the mindful real estate coach, but I also say I'm the no BS coach because I have a compassionate approach, but I also can see somebody's potential and see
100%.
that somebody is holding themselves back and I want to shake it out of them sometimes. So I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
become correct and I will bring it out of you and I will make you see how great you are because I've been there and it took somebody to do that for me.
It's funny you bring that up. I'm gonna wrap. We're gonna have to wrap up in a little
Yeah.
bit. Um, somebody I recently came across. He's also in a commission based industry, and he's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, I really love your energy, Lupita. Every time you walk into the room, you're just like, let's go. Like, that's your vibe, right? So if you're not on like that, something's wrong. And I'm like, yeah, I'm very face value because it's either I'm in or I'm out, right? And I always try to bring this to everyone. But he said, you remind me a lot of myself. And I'm like, really? That's awesome. And he said, he asked me something about teams, right? And he said, do you what is it that you, or was it people? I'm not sure. But anyways, the point was that he said, what frustrates you the most? I said, my biggest frustration when working with others is to see their potential and where they can be, and they don't see it themselves. I said, but I've learned that comes with time, that comes with empathy, that comes with, whatever they are going through. But when I see it, that they're so close, that they're right there on the edge of just making that change and turning that corner and just having an abundance of whatever they seek, that's the frustrating part. Like, if you just did one more thing, the big coaches always say, what's one thing you could do this week to change your whole business? And if they just took that action step, I think, the world would be a better place. But it's funny that you say that because he told me, like, or he asked me, what is your biggest frustration? And I'm like, really seeing people, like I said, and them, me acknowledging that there's more to you. Like, I see you up here, but why can't you see the same thing? That would probably be my biggest struggle. So I'm gonna have to get some
Again,
coaching
we're
for
going to
that.
talk about, we're going to say that that's self-awareness, right? And that's the thing that when you, it's like why we go to therapy, right? Because somebody else can help us get through some of the stuff that we can't get ourselves through, right? Like it's just expected and needed. And so it's just like we're able to see somebody and be like, if you just did this and this. And sometimes you have to, wheel it out just little by little, like, okay,
And I
take one
don't
thing.
think we sometimes self-sabotage because, myself included, it's like we don't want to accept the fact that we can be great, we can be better, because there's something here blocking that mindset. And that's a lot of work to
Yeah.
pull that out.
But
And
imagine if it's a lot of work when I talk to a real estate agent, like it's a lot of work and you think, and I'm telling you, it's time to do personal development. That's a lot of work. And that's why it's not about the perfection. It's about the effort. Do you want X, Y, and Z? What are you willing to do to get it? Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it does take work and understanding. And I know when people talk to us, and like you said, the energy makes a difference, right? That's why people choose different brokerages and different teams and different people to be around, because the energy, or it makes them feel, or how it makes them, you know, be inspired, or makes them want to do more, and helps them start looking into things, makes a difference, right? So putting yourself around those people makes a huge difference. So
Yeah.
people always ask me like, hey, are you gonna start a team again? Are you gonna have a team? And like, I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to start here, and I wanted to have the coaching membership to be able to, you know, support and serve everyone, whatever brokerage you're in, whatever team you're in. I want to help you, because I truly think that there's things that are missing in some of these other brokerages and other teams that just get lost in translation, because it's a sales team and you got to make sales and you got to do that, but there's also something else that can be provided. So I wanted to bring this space, but I don't know, stay tuned.
Yeah, and again,
Stay
it's not
tuned.
about perfection, because it's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. It's not going to be for everyone. It's gonna compel to those that can relate, those that are going to be open to it, self-aware, all of the above. You know.
I will tell you that on that note, if you guys are vibing with this, or you see this video, or you see a short, or you see one of our posts, um, then you must be attracted to what we're attracted to. If you watch this and you're like, keep scrolling, you're not there yet, or you won't be there, or we're just not for each other, and that's okay.
Or the
That's
algorithm
okay.
is fucking.
The algorithm hasn't heard you speak yet, right? I want to say, like, I truly believe that divine timing in everything in our lives, in our business, in our relationships always happens. So if there is something that's calling you to connect with either one of us, please do it. Don't sit there and not listen to that voice. Sometimes we don't listen to that voice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an incident at another time that happened with my mom, who she was like, man, I knew better. And something inside me was telling me, I was like, oh, why didn't you listen to that voice? Why? And she
No, we
doesn't know. She's like, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't listen, and I know better. And it got her into a little bit
definitely
of people
invite.
trouble.
We definitely invite it. So yes, you're right.
Well, I want to leave on one tip as an encouraging, and the title of this talk was, it's not about perfection. It's about the effort. And I think you need to look at every part of your life and what kind of effort you're putting into your relationships, into your business, into your personal health, into your self-care. Look at all that. What kind of effort is it? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be intentional. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Do you have any last words before we tell everyone bye?
No, I'm just surprised you can't hear that.
We can hear it, but it's not like overpowering, or I can't. I mean, it's maybe
I hope
everyone else can
nobody else can hear it, but we'll see.
No.
Okay. No, I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah. Have a good week. Less love, and keep it going.
All right. Bye.
Bye.